Good evening and welcome to the 2023 WTCR Trading Paints Series by the Authentic Racing E-Series. Unfortunately, it's not WAPS this evening. You've got myself, Tom O'Farrell, with Peter Cornelius, as ever, on broadcast and race director. Joining me this evening is Mintruso, who is our pundit, but also the guy behind the circuit mod. Good evening. How are we?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me tonight. Thank you for the invitation, guys. Feeling great. It's a great afternoon and great evening for racing.
Absolutely. And we are at a circuit that you've created, and we'll find out a little bit more about that later on. But we're going to have a look at how they've been or where we've been throughout this series. So this is the championship standings coming into today, which is the third round of the series. Adam Lyle, a very, very quick driver indeed, as we were hearing shortly before we went live, that he is a previous champion of the ARS series. He's currently leading way for Phoenix Sim Racing with 41 points. William Johnson, there you can see for Katakara Racing with 36 points, closely followed by series organiser Ollie Hutton with 34 points. Matt's Raid, additional series organiser there, is again 2 points behind with 32 points. And then we've got Jacob Ellis, another Katakara Racing, with 31 points. As you can see, we go all the way down to 2 points there with Stuart Vickers at the end of the two races. So this is how the race calendar for this series is. We have been at Vallelunga on the 3rd of May. And we had two good races there, one of which was won by championship leader Adam Lyle, with William Johnson and Thomas Potter coming second and third respectively. And then race 2 was won by Jacob Ellis. Ollie Hutton came in second, with Will Johnson coming in third. We then went to Hungary for the Hungaroring on the 17th of May for another 25-minute plus one lap race. And again, Adam Lyle decided to win that race with Matt Raid and Rick Covers finishing off the podium. Championship organiser Ollie Hutton won the second race last time out. So this is qualifying. We have got about 5 minutes left. I'm just trying to sort out the audio issues here, I'm afraid, because I can get myself fed back into my own earphones. So bear us 2 seconds. So with just about 5 minutes left of the qualifying session this evening, we're going to have a look, and it's Matt Raid currently setting the pole position time with a 1 minute 19.8. He's currently sitting in the pit lane. This is Noah Bates, a regular for the ARS organised series. He's currently just 0.05 of a second behind Matt's Raid at the moment. Championship leader there, sitting down in 4th. He's on a purple sector actually at the moment. It's Noah Bates. So we're following him around. Is he on an outlap though? I think he might be on an outlap. Yes, he is indeed, with a 2 minute lap time. A 2 minute sector 1 time, should I say. Looking further down the grid, obviously they have had quite a while. If you're a regular viewer to these series, you'll know that qualifying, they do get 720 minutes which is quite a long session, to be fair. I've just been told that I've been pronouncing Noah's name wrong. It's Noah Batts. I do apologise, Noah. So apologies for that. So I've just been corrected by series organiser, Ollie Hutton. There he is, championship leader, Adam Lyle. Currently in fourth. Obviously, he, as championship leader, I believe he is the heaviest vehicle on the circuit this evening. He has 75 kgs of ballast on. Got 11 runners this evening. There's Jacob Ellis, man I know very well, raced against him several times, taken part in several of my series I've organised and raced in, and even broadcasted on. A very quick driver in the Cupra Leon, just starting a lap time by the looks of it, slightly slower in that first sector. Running slightly on track limits there, but I'm sure you'll be able to get away with that. It's coming down into the hairpin. So Mintruso, this circuit, and we're going to come into it in a few moments' time, but this circuit, where are we looking for overtaking points? Where's the key points we should be looking for?
As we can see, this track, it follows a little bit the same type as we have in Vallelunga on the very first round, in which we have fast corners, we have really long and open corners, and also we have a couple of tight turns and hairpins. Mostly the overtake points will be the turn 3, could be if it's well prepared on the main straight, and we take the left, the fast left first corner. Turn 3 might be one of the spots. Also preparing the second sector, the TCR section, where Lyle it's coming out at this very moment. It could be that braking zone also a good spot for overtaking, but the main star of the overtaking opportunities will be this breaking point here, where we're seeing Lyle going a little bit wide and open, but that will be the main strongest breaking point of the race, and where the most of the opportunities will be given.
Brilliant. So we often see a fair bit of side by side by the looks of it into those fast sweeping corners. He's just coming around now. It tightens up a bit. So are we expecting to see side by side action and close following?
We can completely expect some argy-bargy there. Yeah, typical touring racing. This track allows that. This track also, it's basically made for that, to have some side by side, some paint exchange, and for sure we will be seeing this with these pilots. I have been watching previous broadcasts, and I have seen that, yeah, these open arms and open elbows, it's gonna fit well on this track.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this evening's action. If you are new to the ARS WTCR Trading Paints series, aptly named, obviously we've had the 720-minute qualifying session, but we're just about to come into a 25-minute race plus one lap. There is two, obviously, races this evening. For those of you that are new, as I say, the top 10 drivers from race 1 results are reversed on the grid for race 2. We only have 11 entries this evening. I believe there might be a few grid slots available for the remaining rounds. As we saw earlier, we've got Australia and Macau coming up. But I'm now going to hand over to yourself, Intruso, because you've created this wonderful circuit. And I believe it holds a special place in your heart.
Completely. This is my home track, one of the main, if not the most, or like the main circuit and track in Uruguay, where the most of the action has been happening in last years. Even from 2017, we started. Um, well, as we can see here on the infograph, we have received the grade 2 status for the track, and another milestone was on 2023 when we received TCR World Tour with our main character representing us, that it's Santiago Urrutia for Lincoln Co Racing, now racing with Gili. And yeah, this project started back in COVID times, long afternoons at home during winter. We need to find something to do, and well, I just came up with the idea of developing this circuit, which was kind of a kind of a one-off and kind of a difficult one because, of course, I didn't have any knowledge on modding, and I needed to basically learn everything from scratch. That's why it took so much time. Even later, last versions came as late as this year. And yeah, based on an idea from a UK streamer, you may know it, Chris Hay. He was the one showing or showcasing the program that has been used for this. There is a racetrack builder. It's kind of a easy way of doing it, but still requires a lot of work to actually make it work on Assetto Corsa. There's a lot of development going on behind the scenes. Luckily, this also gave me the opportunity to uh, meet a lot of pilots from Uruguay that participated in the development of this, providing uh, these architectural plans and feedback and stuff to improve it as much as I could. Even engineers from TCR, they got in contact with me to help on the development of this track. So it's something that it's quite close to my heart. I have spent a lot of time, even more than what I would have wished to. But yeah, it's great. And as we saw, well, basically this the main star of the overtaking opportunities will be the hairpin as the last turn, which for sure we will see some dive bombs, some nice overtaking, and and RG bargy, as we said before, for this race.
And it's so you've gone from COVID times, no real modding experience, to arguably trying to succeeding in developing a very difficult circuit to make, I can imagine, because I'm looking at that track map on the left-hand side of your screen there, and there are several different layouts that you can have. So that must have been, if you compare it to something like Brands Hatch, for example, that has
Right.
two layouts, that was kind of where I'd expect someone that has no modern experience to attempt to create a race circuit. And I think it's fantastic you've attempted to make one and succeeded in making one that has so many different circuit layouts.
Right. Thank you very much, first of all. And then, yes, I mean, the complexity starts increasing at the time that you want to add more layouts because all the work you need to repeat it times the many layouts they include. So, yeah, it becomes at some point when you are in this learning curve, it kind of gets difficult because you want to add more things and correct more things. But yeah, at some point you need to start. Okay, I will just reduce the scope for this later version. I reduced the scope a little bit and try to keep it to more current layout and not bring in so many old and so many layouts from the past. So yeah, just to
Yeah.
let's reduce the scope and let's let's make it work. The few layouts that we will have, let's make them work good. And yeah, even the guys from the team from the Authentic Racing series provided some feedback and helped fix some issues that we were having on the track that I haven't noticed before. So I really appreciate the help from Ollie and the team. Um, so yeah, it's it can become a never-ending story, but you also need to put it and to limit the scope that you want to that you want to cover on this.
Absolutely, but as I say, I think you've done a fantastic job. And from the qualifying images we've just seen there, I think everyone at home will agree with me in congratulating you on what you've created. Because as I say, it's a fantastic circuit, and I'm really looking forward to two 25-minute races plus one lap, especially with these 11 nutters that are on the circuit this evening. So it
Highly
should
appreciate it.
provide
Thanks.
us. I want to welcome with some fantastic Racing. I'm just going to see if we can get the qualifying results to you. So I'm just going to have a look down. In fact, I believe, yep, they've just come through. So I'm just going to run down the grid order. It is championship, or should I say, ARS organizer Matt Raid on pole position for Team B230 Racing Team in his Elantra with a 1 minute 19.809. He's closely followed by his teammate, in fact, Noah Batts, again from the B230 Racing Team. Again, in an Elantra. In fact, the top 4 drivers are all in Elantras. Third place, Rick Covers for Phoenix Sim Racing Team A, followed by championship leader Adam Lyle. William Johnson for Katakara Racing is the first of the non-Elantras in the Cupra. We're looking further down. Chris Riley for Andy MB, a team I know very well. Chris makes some videos on BeamNG with the Andy MB team, as we're scrolling through the grid here. Fantastic liveries on these, aren't they?
Lovely. And pretty nice to be able to identify them right away on track. So it will be a pretty interesting race.
Yeah, it's looks like quite a tight grid here. To be fair to them, especially with the size of the car. So that might be a bit interesting as we get the starting lights come on. Just follow up the other runners. So Jacob Ellis in 7th, Ollie Hutton, followed by Stuart Vickers, Madhouse, Leo Dixon, and Arno Verman. And the lights are on. And we get ready for the first race of this evening. It's a bit slow getaway there by Noah Batts. As we're coming down into the first corner, we can see him just on the outside there. Matt Raid keeps first position. I think that's Adam Lyle, managed to sneak his way up from 4th into 2nd, battling alongside Noah Batts. There's a few changing of positions. And again, here we go, the side-by-side racing. Adam's not leaving him any room on the outside. We've also got the Katakara racing of Will Johnson trying to sneak through. It's a bit of contact early on. There's the 2 teammates now back to 1st and 2nd. As they're coming down, oh, he's locked up. He's gone straight on. He's taken out one of the Katakara racing team. That's Jacob Ellis that's gone off as well. Adam Lyles put it in the gravel. That's not a way he wants to start his first race of the evening, is it?
A rough start. Everyone trying to jump and to get ahead as fast as possible, because they know that there are really few opportunities to overtake, and these cars are so equal that it's really, overtaking is really complex. So that's why all want to go ahead as fast as they can, and we can see this paint exchange.
There's a big roll in the background. Sorry to cut across you. There was a massive roll in the background. I think that might have been Dixon. I don't know if we can... Oh, no, there we go. That's the Andy MB. That's Andy MB's Lincoln coat. That's looking very second-hand. Is that going to head towards the pit lane there? I probably can't get a replay of that, but if you can on YouTube, I urge you to go and have a look back at that. I only caught the end of that, but that was a huge roll. I don't quite know how that happened, but that's definitely not how he wanted to end his race one. Hopefully he can get back in those pits and get that repaired.
That's a shame for Dixon, as he was able to get some positions after the initial pilots that were going out, and now unfortunately he went back to the pits, it seems.
Such a shame, but hopefully he can get back out and get some running, get some more experience. In fact, he is leaving the pit lane, so hats off to the Andy MB team on repairing that car that's rolled. There it is.
Here he is coming again.
Yeah, very easy to recognise. Yellow livery on that machine. Coming back down into the hairpin. We've got here Ollie Hutton having a look on Stuart Vickers. I believe the man behind the Phoenix Racing team. So we go side by side with Madhouse. As My timing screen's not following up. Oh, that's a little bit of a spin. Missing backwards on the grass there. It's not exactly where he wants to be either. So we still see Matt Raid has managed to claw a bit more of a gap. Nearly up to 2 seconds, 1.7 seconds, almost there, 1.6 seconds gap to his team. In fact, Jacob Ellis in second place. We've then got Bats, and then this man we're watching, Madhouse, in the Hyundai. It's a very striking livery again, the orange and grey Elantra.
Ollie Hutton trying to get some places back from his initial spin that dropped him to the bottom of the table. Now he seems to be recovering and getting back to the top positions.
Absolutely, two teammates following each other. And again, we've got two teammates following each other here, but at the other end of the field, on board with the nose of Adam Lyle, just shows the circuit layout fantastically, turning it in to the hairpin, getting the power down nice and smoothly on the exit. So you can get a bit of slipstream along this other long straight that's not quite straight, is it?
Not quite. I mean, it kind of bends at the very end because it prepares turns 1 and 2. There are these fast left corners, and yeah, but they will build up a lot of speed to get those fast left corners there.
And it's a very difficult braking zone as well, isn't it? Because you're kinking to the right at the same time you're getting on the brakes into the left. So.
And you also have this difference of elevation that will make your car unstable on the braking. So you need to find the exact point to be able to brake and not spin onto the sand on the right side.
It's fantastic. Very shows you the control of the cars. Brilliant camera angle here. So you're seeing that corner. Just looking down the timing screen. We've got lots of purple sectors coming in as the tyres are just starting to come into their ideal operating window. Fastest lap currently for Will Johnson. In fact, just as I say that, Matt Raid decides to go and say otherwise, and then Ellis goes and rubs the point in my nose and says, "No, I'll have that fastest lap, thank you," with a purple sector 1 with his 1 minute 20.552. So we've got just over 19 minutes. As we sit again, the massive dive down the inside. It's another Andy MB machine. She's gone down the inside of that. Was Chris Riley being overtaken by Will Johnson, I believe.
Excellent by him just to take Christopher Riley. Most likely just opening wide. Maybe he got too much speed into that corner, and William Johnson got it right away and cut inside to get sixth.
Obviously, Will Johnson, I believe, on his comeback after being involved in the incident at the first turn, or just on the first lap, when he went off into the gravel with Adam Lyle. He's now 4.5 seconds away from P5 Ollie Hutton. So we're coming again down into the hard braking zone. Cars look fantastic on that circuit as they use all the curb on the exit. Now that's just taken the fastest lap by the looks of it. Purple sector 3. Just see the bump there as he comes over the corner. Down the right-hander. It's a long sweeping right-hander that doesn't really end, does it, until you hit the braking zone for this turn, this left-hander.
It's a huge right turn in which you also need to be mindful of your tires, because if you push it too hard, at the end of the race you won't have any tires left. So yeah, it's one of the characteristics of that first sector that you will have really long open turns, and it's never ending. It's killing for the tires.
Absolutely, it's gonna heat up that left front quite harshly. So coming down the back straight again. Here's your leader, the B230 Racing Team, Matt Raid. Running away with this one. Has he had a win in this series just yet? I don't think he has. He's had a second. He had a second last time out, in fact. Race 1 in Hungary. So this will be his first race of the first win of the series, shall I say. He's just trying to manage that gap. It's just 2 seconds now to experienced racer Jacob Ellis. There he is in that, going over the bumps into the right-hander. I'll keep wanting to call that a cactus team. So it definitely is a cactus on the side of it, isn't it?
Certainly is, and his teammate actually just posted a lap record, William Johnson. Now it seems that he lost position with Lyle, but he was coming fast prior, and he posted a 1:24:29. So he seems to be wanting to get back to the top.
Yeah, he was absolutely flying, but he's, as you say, he seems to have lost a bit to Lyle. In fact, I'm just having a look at the delta. He's 7.5 seconds off this lap, so he must have made some mistake somewhere. There's Adam Lyle, championship leader, as I say, coming down into this harsh braking zone. Next target for him is Christopher Riley in the Lincoln Co. The Lincoln Co doesn't have any weight, but Adam Lyle, we'll talk about tyre wear, but having 75 kgs on board isn't going to help. I say isn't going to help, but he's just set a fastest lap of the race. What do I know?
But it went 22:36. But yeah, also we need to be mindful that having more ballast, he might be also pushing the tires. So it's something to take care and to take into consideration for the end of the race.
Absolutely. I'm just looking down the entry list, and actually there's only 2 cars on the circuit that don't have any ballast. One of which is the current 6th place Andy MB Racing Team car of Christopher Riley, the Lincoln Co. 0 kgs of ballast, and the other one is his teammate Leo Dixon. Obviously had that massive roll, I believe it's about 2 laps down in the Lincoln Co. 0 kgs of ballast. Matt Raid, in fact, doing a brilliant job up there in first with his 2.4 second gap now. He has 45 kgs of ballast to Jacob Ellis's 10 kgs of ballast. Jacob Ellis just set a purple sector 2, in fact. So he's trying to claw back that gap. Looking down. Noah Batts, 25 kgs. Ollie Hutton, 55. Madhouse, 25. Adam Lyle, 7th. As I say, 75 kgs. Fastest lap just come in from Will Johnson. He wants that fastest lap to his name. Personal best sector 1, personal best sector 2, and absolute best sector 3. So he might have made a mistake earlier on, but he's definitely now pushing on, as he's got a 3-second gap to that Adam Lyle car ahead. You should just see going through the picture just ahead of you.
Yeah, that was definitely most likely a mistake on the first sector that led him to give the position to Lyle, but now he's getting back to it, getting the rhythm up, and posting super lap. So yeah, seems to be Lyle next target.
Lyle's a very consistent driver, as regular viewers to the ARS series will know. Obviously previous champion, he won the last championship here. I believe it was the GT World Challenge. Yeah, he won it by twice as many points as P2, so really ran away with that. So very quick driver is Will Johnson on the back now of the 75 kg Adam Lyle. So coming into that left-hander, a little bit of tyre smoke, running slightly wide there. Into the right-hander as the rise on the apex. Keep it in. Is it running right all the way up Just a never-ending right-hander into the sharp braking zone of the left, using all of the circuit and more. In close to the tyre bale. Brilliant stuff. Nice and close. So we've got just under 12 minutes left of the race to go. Don't forget, it's 12 minutes plus 1 lap left of the race as he brakes harsh. Can they get a switch back to open up? Don't forget, he needs to get the run onto the long back straight. Here he goes. Where's he going to try and attack? Is he going to go down the inside? Or is he going to go for an outside move into the hairpin? The last corner is looking down the inside. Lyle moves, has to think about defending. He's pushing him all the way to the outside, Will Johnson. That's a relatively clean overtake. Will Johnson on the brakes. Position made. No fight there by Adam Lyle. Is that championship game plan?
Completely. He will want, after his rough start, he will want to get as maximum points as possible, and engaging on that fight will only make him lose time with the ones that are coming behind, so it would mean more positions lost. So William Johnson also has been coming with a pretty decent pace, so it was just on the, as we were telling at the beginning of the stream, the main opportunity to overtake is that last corner. So yeah, he needed to be there, and the weight difference, of course, helped on this on this overtake, and also William coming with a super pace. So
yeah,
it's going great for him.
Absolutely, and obviously they're in a championship battle at the moment as well. I know it's early days, but Adam Lyle, 41 points, 5 difference behind him, Will Johnson. But the difference between the positions 7th and 8th, as they are currently, is only 1 point. So actually, to Adam Lyle, it doesn't really make much of a difference. Oh, Stuart Vickers doing a little bit of lawn mowing for you there. So he enters that long back straight. In fact, Peter Cornelius, race director and broadcast director, has just made a very good point there. Adam Lyle's possibly going for the reverse grid pole, which is 10th, which is actually currently occupied by his teammate. Or should I say Phoenix? Phoenix Racing teammates, aren't they? Stuart Vickers. Yes, Team B, in fact, Stuart Vickers, where it's all sliding sideways. Adam Lyle. Fantastic as he's racing there with his identically liveried Elantra teammate. So they're coming back onto that harsh left-hander. Can't really see the apex, can you, until you've turned in?
Those corners, most likely you will need to use the red tires as a reference point, because given that they are really off camber, most of the first sector being so technical and off camber, you need to use those visual references like the red tires to find the apex and to start predicting and opening the corner to take the ideal ratio there. So yeah, it's really off camber and really technical for these cars.
Yeah, brilliant, proper driver's circuit as we see. Rick Cover's coming down into the hairpin, just overtaken Adam Lyle, who is, as Peter Cornelius has said, he's trying to find his way back to 10th position. Kind of doing the opposite of what racers normally do. Trying to find himself that reverse grid pole position for race number 2. He's now just going to quite happily sit there. So come back to Matt Raid, the B230 racing team. Setting very consistent lap times there. If you see that little graphic down the bottom right hand corner, lap 10, 120.7. Lap 11, 120.7. Lap 12, 120.5. Very consistent driving from Matt Raid. In fact, the whole team that's behind the Authentic Racing E-Series are very consistent drivers themselves.
Matt also seems to be managing the gap that he has to Jacob and Noah. Seems to be controlling the pace, so he doesn't really want any scares at the very end of the race, so just to bring it home.
Absolutely, they've still got 7 minutes plus another lap left to play, so they're not going to want to take all the all the life out of their tyres just yet. As you say, it's very harsh on that front left tyre, especially with these long races. So we see thereabouts closing in now on Jacob Ellis. Two different cars. That's a very wide line from Ellis. Don't quite know where he was going. He wasn't following your guide of aiming for the tyre stacks, was he? Coming in just towards the final straight again. Getting the run. As I was saying, two very different shaped vehicles. The more hatchback Leon, followed by the rather saloon-shaped Elantra. Heading back towards Adam Lyle, who's, as I was saying, just happy sitting there behind Stuart Vickers, although Stuart Vickers might be having other ideas. I think he wants that 10th place, so it's going to be a fight for who gets 10th place, and the person behind, rather wrongly of racing drivers, gets the pole position. So it's a fight to be behind the other driver, which is strange. You can see that by Stuart Vickers going wide. I don't know whether that's intentional or not, but he wants to be behind. He wants that pole position, doesn't he?
That's a tricky one. I mean, for sure, this will 10 position will secure pole for second race, and as we were mentioning here, it's pretty important to have track position because of touring cars. Basically, it's really difficult for these forward traction cars or the forward wheel drive to make these overtakes. Is different to rear wheel drives. They are pretty much more technical cars than RWD. So yeah, track position it's key to secure, and also considering that this first sector being so technical, yeah, it's better to be up front.
Absolutely. The closest battle there, we see Christopher Riley and EMP closing in on Madhouse, and he's actually got Johnson behind. So perhaps they've just saved a bit of tyres towards the end, or perhaps the Madhouse car's kind of a bit too aggressive early on and heated up his tyres slightly too much, worn them out. It's another brilliant camera angle. I do like these far away angles. You can really tell the layout of the circuit. Really get a good idea of, saw a little glimpse on board there of what the drivers are going through. There's Matt Raid. We were talking about tyre wear. He last time round set his best lap of the race with a 1:20.468. So he's not backed down at all, has he? He's opened up that gap to 6.2 seconds. Double apex right-hander. You can see that Andy MB Riley machine trying to find a way past Madhouse in the Elantra, the Lincoln coat, the blue and yellow machine.
It's been a couple of laps since this group has been getting closer and closer, so it seems to be exciting last few laps for 5, 6, and 7 position. It will be a pretty nice close to the race.
Absolutely, there's a little bit of contact there between Riley and Johnson. Unintentional, I'm sure, as they're battling across the start-finish line. Just think it's 3 minutes plus 1 lap to go. See who can cross that line first. As we're looking there at the cactus car, as I'm going to refer to it now. Wider line. Try and get a run out, or is that just saving tyres, or is that just a mistake? It might have been a mistake by the two vehicles there. Here's Will Johnson. Ever the opportunist. There we go. Put me correct teeth in, and I can talk. Managed to make the overtake on both the cars now, securing P5. That's definitely not going to hurt his championship hopes. So he's definitely outscoring Adam Lyle, who's still in that battle for the reverse grid pole. A little bit wide by Johnson. Madhouse following closely behind. In fact, that gap, looking at the gap at the lead again, has come out even further, 7.2 seconds, as Madhouse looks down the inside at the tight hairpin. Who's going to get the better drive out the corner and across the line? Looks like Johnson's slightly ahead by about a tenth of a second, and he is fully ahead as they go across the line. So is that just dress rehearsal for about 2 minutes' time, when the checkered flag will fall? Slight slide on the way in for the grey and orange machine. The MB machine behind of Riley seems to be struggling slightly with those tyre wear, or whether he's just taken a wider line so he doesn't warm the tyres too much in these final stages of the race. So a 25-minute race plus 1 lap is quite long, I would have thought, for the front-wheel drive cars, especially around here with a 1 minute 20 lap time.
So, considering the layout of the track, for sure the drivers are struggling at this point with the front tires. Front left, front right should be burning at this point. So it doesn't reflect so much on the times. Times are pretty constant anyway. It seems that the tire management was pretty good. Well, actually, we are seeing. I was checking the wrong column on the timings, but we are seeing that times are actually starting to go up, and we can clearly see there the wear being happening on the tires.
Absolutely, I think everyone's almost about a second slower than their best laps now. In fact, having said that, Jacob Ellis was the closest one to his best lap. He set his best lap is a 1:20.4. Last lap round he set a 1:20.9, so only the 0.5 of a second away, but everyone else seems to be about a second, which backs up your point about the tyre wear. And that fastest lap hasn't changed at all. There we go, we are heading towards the final part of the race. Timing tower has gone to 0 and shown last lap, but they do get one more lap after this. So as we're watching the 69 machine of Phoenix Sim Racing, Rick Covers, which is coming on round. There's a little, that's that battle again in the background. Vickers versus Lyle for that pole position. I'm sure they'll both be quite happy to finish where they are. In fact, Vickers has gone back again. Is that Lyle back ahead? It is. So we're about 1 and a little bit laps. In fact, they've just started the last lap by the looks of it. Matt Raid, it's just done turn 1, 2. So we are on to the final lap of the race. There he is, your lights the flag, almost. Your race winner. Try not to commentators curse you, Matt, but other than a little battle at the first lap, he's driven superbly. 8.1 second gap to Jacob Ellis. P2. Very dominant drive from Matt Raid. How can he do in race 2, which is coming up in a few minutes' time? 25 plus 1 minute. Plus 1 minute. Plus 1 lap. Is it coming down across the line? So he's taking the last corner. Taking it easy. Weaving side to side as Matt Raid becomes a race winner here for the third round. Race number 1, Matt Raid, followed by Jacob Ellis. And then the weaving Noah Batts comes across the line in third. Ollie Hutton in fourth, about 5 seconds behind. And then we've got second place in the championship, Will Johnson in fifth. Chris Riley. Madhouse coming across the line there. And then we've got man that set the fastest lap of the race, Rick Covers, just coming out of the last hairpin. Coming across ninth in that battle, as I say again. Who's going to ease off? Stuart Vickers is going to be ninth, potentially? Or is that 10th? Oh, in fact, is that a timing tower glitch? Yes, it is. So ignore that little time. Oh, there we go. It's corrected itself again. So 9th place, Stuart Vickers and Adam Lyle in 10th. And then last of the finishers, by the looks of it, Leo Dixon with that really impressive roll, 2 laps down. So there we have it. 20 laps of racing completed. Your 25-minute plus 1 lap. He's your race winner, Matt Reid. Who I believe will be joining us shortly for a few words.
Sorry, there we go. Difficult to unmute while I'm still driving.
Oh, there we go. Yep, he actually is in the box. Good evening, Matt. Congratulations. Race 1 win. Almost lights the flag. How did that go?
Oh, well, honestly, a bit tougher than I expected. Probably something to do with the temperature outside at the moment, but keeping your concentration high for 25 minutes was a big ask.
Yeah, we were talking about that during the commentary, and in fact, it's not just the tyre temperature in game on your car, but yeah, it's quite a hot
Scorching
in the UK at the moment, isn't it? So, well, very well done. Congratulations. Is that your first race win in the Authentical E-Series? Or is
no, it's the first one in this season.
In this
series. This way in WTCR. Yeah,
Brilliant.
I've had a couple in GT3s and Tadas last year. But
oh yes,
it's been a while for sure.
Fantastic. So race number 2 coming up in a few moments' time. Same again?
Ideally, I believe it's reverse grid, so I'm going to have to try and work my way through the pack, if anything.
You like a challenge, though, don't you?
Absolutely, I love a challenge. Well, it's only going to be fun, but yes, hopefully the tire isn't going to be as significant as this race, because the last 5 minutes was a struggle.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
so there we go.
So, was horrendous.
So did you push too hard in the beginning stages, or
the opposite actually?
The ballast? Oh, okay.
I'm going to jump on the bandwagon and blame the ballast. But no, I try to be considerate on the tires and keep Jacob behind me without pushing too much. But yeah, it still broke the tires, and I really had to struggle the last 5 minutes. So.
Okay, well, congratulations on your race win.
Thank you very much.
And very best of luck for race number 2, as I say, coming up in a few moments' time. And let's see if we can grab a word with our P2 driver, Mr. Jacob Ellis. Jacob,
yes,
congratulations, P2.
Yeah,
a very tough race. How did you find that?
Oh yes, the start was quite dramatic, I will say, with what happened. So what I did was I decided if I'm gonna keep in this podium, and I'm gonna keep rather focus on consistency than pace, and that's what I did, and I managed to keep Noah behind me, and yeah.
Brilliant. So tyre wear, was that a factor for you, or were you just trying to manage that gap?
I was trying to get as much minimal tyre wear as possible because I want as much grip as possible. So I was being careful with my brakes and trying not to lock up as much.
Okay, so you were racing on hard.
How does it feel? This is Metrusa here, straight off the track. Congratulations to you. Congratulations also to Noah and to Matt. How does it feel the track? How did you see the opportunities to overtake last turn? How do you feel on the first sector? That it's kind of tricky, kind of technical.
Oh, the first sector was very, yeah, it's very, very narrow. Very narrow. I will say very narrow. Yeah, that was a bit.
It got tricky.
My heart was beating. My heart was beating out of my chest at that first.
Every lap. Every lap, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel you there. Same. And every lap it started getting harder and harder because the car felt more on edge.
Yes, exactly.
It was harder to keep the momentum in
absolutely.
To get it going.
Not a bad thing. It was a nice challenge, though.
I feel bad for my teammate who got caught in the crossfire. Oh, Johnson.
Yes, it's first race of the night, and yes, first corner, first lap issues to be expected, especially in touring car racing. But I'm sure we in the steward's office will have a look back and issue any penalties needed. But Noah Batts is also in. You heard his voice there. Congratulations, P3. How did you find your race?
Hectic at the beginning. Let's take that. After that, I got into the flow, made a couple of mistakes where I lost time to Jacob. Other than that, it was fun. I think overall okay.
And you were closing in towards the end there. Is that just saving a little bit of tyres, or?
Yeah, my tires are gone, mate. It was on ice. It was insane.
It's brilliant. Okay, well, congratulations to our top three there: Matt Raid, Jacob Ellis, and Noah Batts. Best of luck, gentlemen, and we will hopefully be talking to all three of you in a few moments' time, come the end of race 2. Best of luck, as I believe we're going to the grid shortly, so we'll let you go.
Thank you very much. Congrats, Noah.
Yep. Okay. See you later.
Yeah. The grid is just coming up. So the technical first sector of the race, first sector of the lap, shall I say, definitely hurting the tyres for those drivers. And it's not just the heat in-game, but also in their actual sim rigs is hurting them. Okay, so we've got the grid here. Well, we did have the grid here. Let's just wait for our drone to figure out where it's going. There we go. So it is Adam Lyle on pole position. I'm just going to have to refresh my screen as it has gone wonky. There we go. So Adam Lyle on pole position on the right-hand side, followed by Stuart Vickers on the left in the Elantras. Elantra number 3 as well is Rick Covers, followed by Madhouse in another Elantra. The Lincoln Co. of Chris Riley on the right-hand side of the grid, followed by Will Johnson, who had that incident in the Cupra with Adam Lyle early on. Elantra number 22 is Ollie Hutton, followed by 44 of Noah Batts. 24, we've just heard from the podium sitters there, Jacob Ellis, Matt Raid, and then right at the back of the grid is the roly-poly of Leo Dixon. Got a nice little drone camera angle here. Looking at the sky, it's a very sunny day in game as well, isn't it? See that run
in the sunny
first
Uruguay.
Corner.
Bluest sky ever.
It's a very difficult run into that first corner, as we were just seeing there. Who's your money on for this reverse grid race 2?
By looking at the previous results, I would go with Johnson. He was putting pretty consistent times. Many times, even though I think it was it Vickers or Corvers taking the fastest lap? Johnson, I'm putting my money on him.
Will Johnson, brilliant. Well, here we go as the lights come on, 6 red lights. Beginning of race number 2, 25 minutes plus 1 lap coming up for you. Who gets the best starts? We will find out shortly. Moving across to the left-hand side of the circuit as we're coming into the first corner. Adam Lyle is leading the way. The nice big gap to his Team B teammate of Stuart Vickers, running slightly wide. Andy MB followed by the other sister car of Lyle, Corvers. They go side by side through this first lap. The long right-hander leading into this tricky braking point from the left. Adam Lyle with about 5 cars length gap. All tripping over each other further in the background. So see teammates 1, 2, Lyle, Corvers. We come into the hairpin. Oh, a little bit of contact there by P3 and 4. That looked like 4 and 5 rather. Was that Vickers and Riley potentially? No, that was Johnson, I think. So we're coming on to the long back straight. About 4 or 5 wide there. So wide enough straight to do it, but hopefully they get themselves sorted out. So it does look like 4 wide again. Hopefully no roly-polies. Yeah, they are coming up 4 wide in the background there. Oh, someone's just backed out of it. Can't quite tell who that was. from that camera angle as Adam Lyle leads the way with about a second gap to his teammate Corvers, followed by Stuart Vickers, man behind Phoenix Sim Racing. So they've come up to complete the first lap of the race. It is Lyle, Corvers, Vickers, Riley, Batts, Johnson, Madhouse, Hutton, Ellis, Raid, Dixon. As they come across the line.
A calmer, well, as I was going to say that it was a calmer start, given that the guys already saw what's the race pace and what represents the race on this tight track. I think that they were taking a little bit more care, but we still see some contact here and there.
Absolutely, which is a bit strange for a reverse grid race, as normally reverse grids tend to arrange chaos for us. So we threw this 367 machine just then. There's Chris Riley for the Andy MB in his Lincoln coat, trying to find a way past Stuart Vickers. Stuart Vickers taking his lawnmower line. I don't know whether that's just to try and cool down the tyres or whether he just dislikes that corner. See side by side in the background there, it looks like teammates Ollie Hutton and Madhouse. He's come down into that harsh braking point for the right-hand hairpin. Is that Ellis as well, having a look? So in fact those podium sitters from last time round trying to make ground. In fact, Noah Batts has done the best of them. Oh, side by side, bit of a hip and shoulder. Ollie Hutton gets out wide, sliding wide, gathers it all together. He's lost a few positions by that.
A bit of friendly fire by the team there, Ollie and Madhouse. Kind of not ideal idea to get into side by side on the sector 1, being so tight. But yeah, luckily we have all the cars in the truck still, and not anyone using it as a mower.
Yeah, absolutely. They're all still going, as you say. So it's really good to see. In fact, there's Andy MB going down the inside. That's it's not Chris Riley, is it? That's Dixon. In fact, didn't get to see much of his vehicle last time round, as he managed to go for a roly-poly. That's on the back of the other Andy MB motorsport machine of Chris Riley. Nice tight racing. Not much between them. Fastest lap of the race there. Oh, your P4 man, Batts. Sliding sideways, look at that. Car control from Riley. Has he kept it on? No, he hasn't. He's fallen off the circuit. That's Riley gone. You can see him in the background there. He's just found a lamppost by the looks of it. That's really unfortunate for Riley. He's off the circuit. Difficult. He just got a little bit unsettled and just caught the grass, and there he goes into the scenery. But hopefully he can get back on the circuit nice and quick and go for some fastest laps and
those turns 1, 2, and 3 are really critical with weight transfer, so you really need to have a good position of the car, else you will end up on the grass, and yeah, it's a never-ending story because it will start sliding and then a long way back to bring it to the track.
Yeah, just see some close racing there by Hutton, Madhouse, and I think it's Matt Raid, all of which are people integral to the organising team here at ARS. Having a little bit of contact earlier on in the lap. In fact, they're now being separated by Ellis. He's telling them all to calm down, and then he's hip and shoulder out the grey and orange machine of Madhouse. Trying to get across the line. The fastest lap has been set by Johnson. Yeah, it has still been set by Johnson. The Elantra still down the inside. The sliding Cooper Leon ran a little bit wide. Wonder whether any of the drivers have taken any note of their tyre wear from race 1, or whether they've gone complete racing driver mentality of who worries about tyre wear, we'll just drive until the tyres fall off. Which is probably what we're seeing with the side-by-side contact. Will Johnson trying to get that third position back. But no bats.
About the tire management, when you're on that mid pack, it's kind of difficult to actually keep that in mind, because you really want to get ahead of the other driver so you can actually control the rhythm ahead and then start controlling your tires. But when you are in the back, yeah, this racer instinct comes to your skin, and you really want to pass, to go ahead, and unless it's, and especially with these front-wheel drive cars, that you really want to be the one controlling the rhythm and not the one following. So yeah, the mid pack will for sure be feeling it at the very end of the race on tire health.
Absolutely, that's a problem for future them rather than current them as they're racing around the circuit. As we've just seen, I think Madhouse is disconnected. Unfortunately, that's a shame. Don't know what's happened to him. He was in a good battle there with Ollie Hutton, Ellis as well. He seems to have disconnected according to us. Only managed the 4 laps. I don't know whether he's overheated. Perhaps last time round, I believe we had a fastest lap coming by the man that said it last time round, Rick Covers, in that second place. Adam Lyle just leading the way, as you say, just keeping his nose dry and managing that pace, managing the tyre wear. Hopefully, 1.3 seconds is the gap to his teammate, and then last time round's P3 driver, currently sitting in P3, no bats. Watching Adam Lyle come around that first sector. Oh, in fact, P2's off. That's a big off.
Rick.
Yeah, that's Rick gone off. How many positions can he rejoin safely? He needs to watch out because Will Johnson's coming around the corner. Oh, yes, that was in fact Ellis, I believe it was. Yeah, it was Ellis, I'm afraid. He just kind of pulled on in front of. In fact, Ollie Hutton there, I think, tickling the rear end of him, of his car, getting down the inside, putting some dirt on the tyres. Rick's going to be kicking himself for making that mistake.
It was a great 1-2 for Phoenix Team Racing, which was really good for their positioning on the championship. So now, yeah, hard task for Rick to start getting positions back. And yeah, I think he kept losing a couple of positions with Hatton and Dixon. So yeah, big task ahead for the remaining 15 minutes to try to get back something that from what was lost.
Yeah, and that's not going to have helped his tyre wear either, is it? Doing a lot of sliding off the circuit. But he's currently in 8th. He's not all the way at the back of the grid, and he hasn't retired, so he's in for scoring points still. Can he get ahead of Lee Dixon, Mr. Roly-Poly? He's closing in. This is the section of the circuit he made the mistake at last time. Can he keep it on the circuit? Yes, he can, and he's following close up behind. He's going to look for a move coming out of the long right-hander. Pay attention. Car in front. Get this braking zone. Looking down the inside. Oh, that was not good. That's Dixon off. I just glanced at the timing screen just as that happened. I believe there might have been contact, but
I think it was just a lock-up. Ended up locking up rear tires and spinning on this tight left-hander.
That's such a shame as it is. As I say, I didn't quite see it, so I can't say. But if it was lock-up, then that's gutting for him. Perhaps that's Chris Riley there ahead. Chris has had his own little incidents this race. He's trying to hunt down Hutton. We're seeing purple sector 1 for Ollie Hutton. Absolute best sector 1 last time round, and his personal best sector 2, but lost a little bit in sector 3. but still set his fastest lap of the race. Not too far off, about half a second off the best time. In fact, yeah, about half a second off the best time overall. We kind of come to that middle stage of the race where everyone's just managing their gap to the car ahead, managing their tyres. Don't want to do anything too silly. Just try and keep it on the circuit. Hope somebody else makes a mistake so they can close the gap a little bit more. So all running a medium tyre as well. So they're all on equal footing, except the ballast.
Second and third position, Batts and Johnson with clean air seems to be posting their best times the last lap. They really want to get closer to Adam Dale.
Absolutely, he's had his lap times coming down. You see there, bottom right hand corner of your screen. In fact, just as I say that, he goes across the line and sets a lap that's about a second off his previous lap time. He's going around that tricky first sector to the long right-hander. He's being hunted down by race one winner, Matt Rage, trying to get back on the podium. Be what I believe would be his third podium of the Training Paints series. That's the Katikara car of Ellis in the background that just went lawn mowing. Purple sector 1 for the man that set the fastest lap of the race this time around. Covers needs to pay attention to see. He's trying to get back onto the back of Chris Riley. There we go, riding on board. Driver's eye view, clipping that apex, run it out wide. Go down the outside. That's an interesting manoeuvre. Is he going to go for the switchback? On the brakes, slightly later than Riley. He's going to go completely around the outside. That's a very good move indeed. Wonder whether Riley just conceded that one and went, I'm quite happy sitting behind him. See if he can find some more lap time for himself.
A great overtake. He will want to get back to those positions. Let's remember that he was second at some point and want to get more points for the team to continue chasing the championship. So let's see these 10 remaining minutes plus one lap. How can Rick recover?
Absolutely, as we ride on board. Fantastic camera angle. I wonder if we can see the whole lap from this point of view. As we're about to start a lap. Right up close behind Ellis. Little nibble of the tail. Aiming for those tyres. They come on to the long straight. I wonder whether you can talk us through a lap of your circuit, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. Here we are on the back straight, where you can reach speeds of, in these cars, around to 10 to 20. We will get to the strongest braking point, what we call La Curva del Parador, which is the last turn, one of the main overtake opportunities. Getting to the main straight, really fast, short straight, but really fast, reaching also 200 kilometers and dropping us into a really fast turn 2, left corner, also third left and fourth corner and fifth to the right. This is a corner that has quite a lot of radios, depending on if you're defending, attacking, making a time. Then you get to this tight left-hander, which also opens a little bit. You can use a little bit of a run-out area. And you get then to the TCR section, which this is new from 2023. And super technical section, double right-hander, dropping you into a left-hander, back to the main straight. This has a kind of kink here. It's not super straight, but then we get back into the action to the back straight over with the draft and the slipstream and the main overtake possibility that would be back into the last corner and back to the main straight to follow the action.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. It's really great to hear an onboard lap. See how it's done. On board there with Ollie Hutton. It really shows off how good this circuit is and how tricky it is for the drivers to maintain consistency and actually overtake. It's has some very tricky parts of the circuit. We're looking at front right tyre, keeping it within track limits. There's right on board with Adam Lyle. 5.4 seconds is the gap to Noah Batts, followed by Matt Reid in third position. And then Will Johnson. In fact, I was just having a little look at the championship points after race 1. And Ollie Hutton has actually jumped ahead of Will Johnson after that race 1 in the standings. Obviously all provisional at the moment. So Adam Lyle would be leading the way after race 1 with 72 points. Ollie Hutton 67. And then Will Johnson with 64. That's a slight change around after this. As that is a shame. We've just heard that Madhouse retired due to PC issues. That's a shame. You do all the week's testing with no issues, and then you come into race day and there's always an issue. It's such a shame. He's had to end his evening that way. In fact, we've just seen that Stuart Vickers has retired as well. That must have been recently. Let's just have a look. Yeah, he managed 10 laps. They're on lap 13, so I must have missed that, but it's a shame for Stuart. He hasn't done as many of the races as he probably would have liked. He's a very busy man. Did round 1 by the looks of it. Didn't turn up last week. Prior commitments. As I say, there's a fairly large field signed up for this series, but due to most likely the weather and prior commitments, there are some drivers aren't able to join us this evening, where they're really missing out on a fantastic opportunity to score some points, but also a very different circuit to ones that we're used to racing on. One that definitely plays in the hands of a technical, consistent driver. As we see Ellis going slightly wide and back on board from Hutton's point of view, over the bump, on the brakes, aiming for the tyre stack, riding the curb on the exit, dab on the brakes again, down, turning it in, watching the back of Ellis, trying not to run into the back on the double apex, keeping it nice and tight on the right hand side, flicking it into the left. You can see just how hard those front tyres are working. That might be where Ellis is struggling now with 5 minutes left of the race, plus the 1 lap.
Yeah, I agree. Ellis seems to be struggling with tires. Ollie Hutton seems to be trying to capitalize on those mistakes and those imprecisions, but of course he must be also, he didn't have a so quiet race, so he must have also some wear on the tires, but he's leaving it all, and yeah, it's going for the overtake on the main straight.
Nice job done. Simple overtake for Ollie Hutton. Just got the power down. Nice and easy on the exit, as you called. Little lock up in the background there. He's now got 4.6 seconds gap to P4. Slightly wide. Again, probably just off put by having a car close up behind him, as he hasn't had one behind him for a little while. I do wonder whether the short wheelbase to long wheelbase plays or makes any difference, shall I say, into the tyre wear around here, especially as those shorter wheelbases like the Leon, as we're understeering off the road on board Jacob Ellis. That just shows his tyre wear, and probably what I was saying about the short wheelbase. The front tyres are definitely going to work more on a shorter wheelbase car, as you can't set the car up to dance around as much on the rear.
Yeah, also considering that aero will be different, so yeah, I guess that these sort of categories are pretty well balanced. So most likely what they have on one side they will be taken in another. So maybe it's wheelbase versus aero. So yeah, for sure they are both struggling with tires. We are on that stage of the race where we, unless certain exceptions, we are seeing the times a second or a second and a half above what the average were. So yeah, there's a big tire wear at this stage.
Yeah, obviously they've, as you say, they've had best part of 24 minutes of racing around this circuit, so their tyres are going to be pretty worn out by now, especially if they're following another car like Ellis is now. He's going to be trying using that Hutton car as a marker. In fact, Peter Cornelius, race director, broadcast director, has just made a good point. The Hutton's on 55 k's of ballast. Ellis is on 10. But Hutton made the overtake on the lighter Cupra Leon. Jacob Ellis. Just shows that how consistent Ollie Hutton is as a driver. Knows to look after those tyres. Knows he'll gain the positions later on in the race. Slightly wide there from Ellis. Compromising his right-hander. Or should I say, part one of the right-hander. So he's wide again. Doesn't want to go too much wider, otherwise he'll end up laying on the grass. So coming into the final few laps of this race too, here for the 2023 WTCR Trading Paint Series, brought to you by Authentic Racing E-Series. Here, round number 3. This is the closest battle on circuit. In fact, a man that's closing in is that Phoenix sim racing car, Rick Covers. Just in the background there, he's just doing a little bit of lawn mowing, but he was closing in. Here's the number 1 car, previous champion. Adam Lyle lights the flag after getting that reverse grid pole position. 5.9 seconds, 6 seconds now. The gap to Nurbats in second place. Just managing that gap. Last few laps have been quite consistent. So watching Noah in his green Elantra. In a bit of no man's land. You can barely see the Johnson car in the background. You can barely see the other Elantra as the clock ticks to 0. So next time round they'll get one more lap. And then that'll be tonight's racing action. So, not going to commentators curse it, but oh no! Man with the fastest lap, Rick Covers, has retired from the race. That's a shame. He's made it 25 minutes through the race and he's now retired from it. He couldn't manage that one more lap. That's such a shame to see.
Yeah, so much effort for all the race, and yeah, most likely either tires or maybe it was connection. We will for sure know.
Well,
yeah, well, we have an overtake there.
Yeah, we have a battle on our hands. Ollie Hutton versus Jacob Ellis. Ellis in the Elantra, the blue Elantra. Ellis on that left-hand side. The ideal line. Hutton just backs out of it there. Into that first section Oh, Ellis has gone slightly deep though. Is this Hutton's opportunity? Where will he go on the final lap of the race? Can Ollie Hutton claim the 5th position? Or can Ellis, his tyres stay in a bit of life for this final half a lap?
We'll have the option to prepare the move for the next braking point, or choose to leave it at the very end on the last corner. Let's see what will Ollie do. Seems to be backing out from this one.
Yeah. If it was me, I'd leave it to the last minute, but it'll be the nerves to get this corner right, to get the run. Oh, as they both go wide, that's going to hamper Hutton's attempts to overtake as Adam Lyle comes across the line to win the race. Race number 2. Adam Lyle for Phoenix Sim Racing, followed by Noah Batts coming across the line, weaving across the line. Johnson finishes off the podium positions in 3rd place, and that's Matt Raid in 4th. Ellis keeps 5th ahead of Hutton. He wasn't able to overtake at the last corner. And then Riley and Dixon. So there we have it. Adam Lyle, another race win. Someone needs to stop him winning because he's won a race every round. Won the first race of the season, and then he won the first race at Hungary last time out. In fact, he even got a 3rd place in race number 2 as well. As Adam Lyle now joins us in the commentary box. Good evening, Adam. Congratulations, race win, 3rd of the season. How did that race go for you?
It was all right. 2 seconds. I'm just in another chat. There we go. I've exited it. Sorry, what did you say? I didn't.
Congratulations on your race win. Was that part of your plan? Was race 1 go to 10th after that issue on the first lap, and then get that reverse grid pole? Was that your plan?
No, I just I'm not finding the car that enjoyable really with the weight they added. So we just thought once we was all near the back, we'd all just have a bit of fun of our own, make it fun.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, the ballast has been put there, obviously to equal things out as a champion in GT World Challenge last time out as well. I believe you double the points of anyone else, and that Elantra you're driving seems to be quite quick as it is, but a race win nonetheless in race 2. Very well done. So we've got a few others popping into the commentary box. Noah Batts has managed to make it back, and Will Johnson as well. Good evening, gentlemen. Noah, I'm going to come to you first of all. Congratulations, back to talk to us again. How did you find your race 2?
Way more relaxed. When I got rid of William Johnson behind me after he made a mistake, it was just smooth sailing. For a second, I thought Matt, my teammate, was gonna get third, but after that, he got fourth. But it was fun. I like the track really a lot. Min Trusso, I want to thank you for this track. It's insane. It's one of my favorites now.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and also thank you for the feedback that you provided also, guys, to make some improvements and some fixes.
Fantastic stuff. Yeah, echo the words of the drivers there. Brilliant circuit. Congratulations there on your pole position. Will Johnson, there we go, podium position. That's a great way to end the evening. How did you find your race?
Yeah, the race was pretty good, yeah. I made a couple of mistakes, as I think Noah pointed out, into the first corner. Just went a bit wide and did a 360. Got it going, but no, obviously got ahead.
Absolutely. Tyre wear playing havoc, or do you manage to keep the tyres in a little bit more life?
I did manage to save them a lot better this race, but they were definitely going out on the last 5 minutes.
Prior to the race 2, we were kind of discussing and betting who would be going up the ranks. And I gotta say, on knows I put my money on you, Will. I saw the timing and the pace that you were keeping on race 1, and I said, okay, this guy will get some places. And well, here you are, P3. So congratulations, and also Noah, congratulations, and Adam. And I really hope that you enjoy the racing on this little track that means so much to me. So I really hope that it was a good racing for you guys.
Yeah, it was a great track.
Thanks.
Yeah, the track was good.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much to Adam Lyle, first position, Noah Batts, second, and Will Johnson, third. They are your podium sitters. Congratulations, folks, as we will let you go recover and have a look at the championship standings after tonight's round. Adam Lyle, we just heard from him there, still in the championship lead, 72 points. That's 2 points ahead of second place. Has changed quite a fair bit. Matt Raid there, 70 points. Ollie Hutton, 67. Will Johnson, again, we've just heard from Will. Had a bit of a strange evening, Will did, but he's managed to get 64 points on the board, followed by his teammate Jacob Ellis. And there's a few drivers down there as well that haven't attended this evening's race, but they definitely missed out on the circuit, didn't they? They could have had a brilliant race on this circuit that you've created.
Yeah, it was great racing here. As we expected, it was tight. It was gonna be contacts, and most of the overtaking opportunities that we saw were most on the last turn, and of course first sector taking advantage of mistakes and errors being so technical. So yeah, great racing on a really good track, and the drivers were brilliant as well.
Fantastic. So next time out, we are at Portimao. Hopefully Waps will be back with you. That's on the 31st of May, so that's next weekend. So again, 25 minutes plus 1 lap around that circuit. That's are you back in for that one?
Might as well be. The guys invited me for this one, being an opportunity to be Alpinar, but yeah, we might as well continue for the next one.
Be good to hear you. I won't be here for this one, for that one, unfortunately. Waps should be back, hopefully. Hopefully he's feeling better for next week. And then following out the remaining rounds, Bathurst on the 7th of June, and then Macau on the 14th of June. That will be a very, very interesting race. But that's pretty much all we've got time for this evening. We've had 2 fantastic races around a very, very good circuit indeed. I really enjoyed that circuit. I am going to go find the mod for it and do some laps myself once I get my sim rig back. But thank you very much for joining me this evening.
Thank you. Thanks to the teams for having me, for inviting me. It was an amazing experience. Thanks for all the drivers for the racing that they gave us, and of course we will be seeing each other next week. And see you next time.
Fantastic. So that is the 3rd round of the 2023 WTCR Trading Paints Series here. Thank you all very much for joining us. Hopefully Waps will be back so you don't have to listen to my ramblings next week. From all of us here at the ARS series, good night.